This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
8 home runs in the Phillies 11-1 victory. Eight home runs in the Phillies 11-1 victory. Franchise record. Edmundo Sosa becomes the first Phillies shortstop ever with a 3 home run game. Kyle Schwarber is now just 2 home runs shy of tying Ryan Howard's astronomical number of 58 home runs set in 2007. Just absolutely 2006, absolutely unbelievable what you're witnessing right now with the Philadelphia Phillies. And just as a minor footnote, minor thing, Jesus Luzardo, he gets his ERA under 4 for the season, which is also good. 7 innings, 1 run baseball, 10 strikeout, chef's kiss. But the story of the game is all about the power. And without further ado, let's jump right in.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So, Kyle Schwarber is incredible, but when you have a franchise that's been around since 1883 and just now in 2025, you have the first shortstop ever with a 3-homer game. Like in 1883, did they even call it a shortstop, or did they call it like guy in the middle of the infield? Like, what do they call him? I don't even know. But since 1883, you've never had a 3-homer game from a shortstop. And Edmundo Sosa did that in his first game in 12 days, by the way, being on the IL with the groin injury. And he comes back, and the first home run he hit it burrowed its way under the plate somehow, and he still got it. It was a thing of beauty. The last home run he hit, also down in the zone, that one he went and got. The middle one was actually a slider that hung up there a little bit, and he still got a hold of that one. This was a phenomenal, 3 home runs is all you need to know, but a phenomenal performance by Edmundo Sosa, and to do it on his first game back is pretty spectacular. And then I love the story that Taryn Nicole told in the dugout when Edmundo Sosa was coming back to the dugout after that 3rd home run, just made it over the wall in left field and got botched. Oh, come on, man. Reel that in by that fan. After that happened, he comes into the dugout and Alec Bohm goes, "Are you sure you don't need another day off, man? Are you sure you don't need another day off?" I don't know how you say that in Spanish. No lavoro? I don't know. Lavoro? No, that's Italian. I forget. Trabaja. No trabaja? Dia de trabaja? I don't know. But anyway, Edmundo Sosa goes out there and just crushes today. And his 3-homer night, combined with Kyle Schwarber's 2 home runs, and then, as I mentioned, Kemp, Bohm, and Stott, a franchise record 8 home runs. I've been going on and on about it. Been around since 1883. First shortstop to have a 3-homer night. First time the Phillies have hit 8 home runs. I mean, think about that. I mean, just think about the recent history where you can talk about Ryan Howard and Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins and Pat Burrell and those guys, smacking some home runs, and then go back to Greg Luzinski, Mike Schmidt, those guys jacking home runs, right? Think about that era of baseball. And no, this team 2 nights with Edmundo Sosa hitting 3 of them and Otto Kemp hitting 1. But Bryson Stott had an absolute bomb of a home run, by the way, to the visitors' bullpen in center field. This team was just on one, absolutely on one. And how about this? While we're talking about history here, we can also talk about the fact that this Phillies team had a 4-homer inning for the first time since 1985. 1985, 7th inning against the Cubs, I believe they said it was, where they hit 4 home runs. Well, they had 4 home runs in tonight's 7th inning. Kyle Schwarber got it started off, and let's go ahead and talk about the turning point. And really, it's even before that 7th inning, but don't want to forget it. Here
Time
it is.
to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The turning point for me came with Edmundo Sosa's 3-run home run on that first pitch slider that he got from Bakar in the 5th inning. That went from a 3-1 game to a 6-1 game. 3-1 game, shades of last night. I don't feel comfortable. 6-1 game, kick your feet up, enjoy your favorite beverage, and watch the W get chalked up in the column. You know what I'm saying? So that was the turning point for me. This was a lot of fun for another turning point to turn into even more fun was that 4-run seventh inning. Kyle Schwarber took you deep there on a 1-0 fastball that he belted for a 468-foot home run. How about this? His 56th home run of the season is the longest home run he's hit of the season. 56 home run, travels 468 feet. That was a fastball out over the middle. Fastball, 89 miles per hour by Beozo. That was a batting practice fastball that Kyle Schwarber demolished to the second deck in right field. Again, 468 feet. Then Alec Bohm goes back-to-back with him. He gets a 1-2 sweeper that was way down in the zone. Another very low pitch that he goes down and gets. Again, 1-2 sweeper, puts it over to left center field wall. That's out of here. All of a sudden, it's an 8-1 game. Castellanos reaches on the error. Otto Kemp capitalizes on that with the 2-run home run over the left center field wall to make it a 10-1 game. And then Edmundo Sosa says, why not one more? Why not one more? He gets the 2-2 cutter. This one was also very much down, 352 feet to left field. Just a bit of a wall scraper over the left field wall for the 11th and final run of the Phillies night. Phillies face Sanoha in the bottom of the 8th inning. They're not able to get much off of him other than a blooper by Kyle Schwarber that was fielded by no one. That was about 5 miles high in the sky and then dropped down between third, short, and left. And the Phillies weren't able to do anything with that because, unfortunately, Nick Castellanos with 2 runners on grounded into the 6-4-3 double play against a position player pitching. But, it is what it is. Phillies get the 11-1 win. And I think I might possibly somehow magically know what you guys just might be talking about tomorrow.
This is what you'll be talking about.
You're going to be talking about the fact that the Phillies set a record with 8 home runs. Edmundo Sosa, 3 home runs. Kyle Schwarber, 2 home runs shy of tying Ryan Howard's record. And you're also going to be talking about the idea of the Philadelphia Phillies clinching a first-round bye in the postseason with a bang with an 8-homer night. I think that's probably what you're going to be getting into when you talk about this game tomorrow. This was so much fun. And Jesus Luzardo, by the way, oh my goodness. A 10 strikeout, 103, 7-inning, 1-run, 103 pitches, 7-inning, 1-run performance. No walks, 3 hits, by the way. Unreal from Jesus Luzardo. And I know to some people this might not seem like a big deal, but I've talked to enough big league pitchers that know or have experienced it. Going into tonight, Jesus Luzardo had an ERA of 4.08. Leaving tonight after 7 innings of 1-run baseball, unearned, by the way. The run was unearned. He not only picks up his 15th win of the season, but he also lowers the ERA below 4, below 3.95 to 3.92. Just to get the ERA below 4 is a huge victory for Jesus Luzardo in this game. And as I've talked to many big league pitchers over the years, just that little difference in ERA, it's from a 4 to a 3, makes you feel a lot better about the season you just had. And getting to 15 wins on the season. I know we poo-poo wins all the time now, but still, a guy gets you 15 wins in the season. That is a pretty damn good year. So congrats to Jesus Luzardo on all of that. On a night where power was key, he had 10 strikeouts. So he certainly wasn't shy of the power, especially his last strikeout, by the way. That came in at 95 miles per hour, or 98 miles per hour, rather. That sinker, 97 miles per hour to Hernandez in the 7th inning. That was the first out of the 7th inning, and that was his last strikeout. A 3-2 sinker up in the zone, 97 miles per hour. The 7th full count at that point of the night, he ended up having 8 full counts in total. But that was his last strikeout. How about that? When we come back, we're going to take your comments on this victory for your Philadelphia Phillies. They clinched that first round bye with a bang. 8 of them, as a matter of fact, in this one. We'll be back to talk about it with you. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzad. I got you covered for all your Locked On Phillies Postcast needs. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast needs. Back right after this. Hey, let me tell you about Rugiet, by the way. Maybe this game was a little Rugiet for you, know what I mean? Think about this for a second. What do you get when you get a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla riding a T-Rex? I'll tell you what you get. confidence. Pure confidence. If you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Go Long. That's exactly where Rugiet Go Long comes in, as a matter of fact. Confidence. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula, so you can, and go the distance all at the same time. Effects can last up to 36 hours. Now, that's confidence all day and night, and even into the next day. How about that? Process is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly right to your door. If prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly to your door. By the way, so it's your own business. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Get Rugiet, RUGIET.com, and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's promo code LOCKEDONMLB for 15% off your first order. That's RUGIET.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Make sure you use our promo code so they know that we sent you. And how about the Game Time app? There's nothing like catching a baseball game live. You know, your team might hit 8 home runs in a game, for instance. Your starting pitcher might go into the 7th inning and strike out 10. You know, it's good to be there. Game Time app helps put you in the action. The Game Time app. It gives you the advantage, really gives the full advantage back to the fans. Game Time is fast and easy and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best possible price. Plus, all the fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. The app is very simple. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. That's the Game Time app. And how about FanDuel? NFL season well upon us. FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with this can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if that $5 bet hits, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app. Love using the FanDuel app because it really fits however I like to bet, whether I'm feeling a player prop, whether I'm feeling a same-game parlay, or just jumping in as the live action unfolds on the FanDuel app. Makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team personally or you're keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. Quick, easy, best way to add a little bit more energy to your Sundays. So what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel app today by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. And if it hits, $300 in bonus bets to use across the FanDuel app at FanDuel.com. Before we get into the chat check right there, let's look up and down this order. Kyle Schwarber, by the way, with 2 home runs, was 4 for 5 on the night, 2 RBIs, 2 solo home runs, obviously coming on that, 2 runs scored, not too shabby. Alec Bohm, the term has been back with a vengeance. Well, yeah, you can continue that today. He was 2 for 4 today with the home run, the RBI, 2 runs scored, and also was able to draw a walk and had 2 incredible leaping grabs at third base. Nick Castellanos, unfortunately, took the collar there, the 0 for 5. Golden sombrero, maybe? I believe that is. Yes, it is. Otto Kemp had you that home run with 2 RBIs. Sosa came up with the 5 RBI night with his 3 home runs. That's not too bad either. Stott came up with his only hit being that solo home run, that moonshot of a home run. By the way, let me give you the distance on that one, because that 2 for Bryson Stott was a bit of a long one, and that was in the 4th inning. 441 feet. Jumped all over a first pitch fastball. See you later. They hope to have JT Realmuto back in the lineup sooner rather than later. I'm at a point now, you got 4 games left in the season, tomorrow, and then a 3-game series to end it against the Minnesota Twins. Hey, JT, take the day off. And the next day, and the next day, and the day after that. And then you can have the bye week. And then come back fresh and ready to go. That's where I'm at. Let's see what you wonderful people have to say about this fine 11-1 victory in favor of your Philadelphia Phillies. Let's get into it. Joseph Grillo, change that banner I did change it from 55 to 56. Though I actually changed it to record night because I thought that was the bigger story. But you're right, Joseph. I got on it, though. Don't you worry. Jess Patrick II, what's going on? Or 2, hello. This is what last night should have looked like. What last night? I don't even remember what happened. Morgan Landy, Schwarber might actually catch Howard at this rate. I know. I didn't think it was possible. but you got 4 games. So now here's the decision. If you're Rob Thompson, you have to decide between giving him a break or letting him swing for the fences. Now, he's a DH, so you want to keep him locked in. Why not? I think you have him go for it. Now, a point of reference that I'll make is last year, I think it was, Alec Bohm was on 19 home runs. And Rob Thompson knew what a big deal it would be for him to get to 20. So he played him in the last game of the season, and he hit his 20th home run of the season. So I think you might be looking at something similar. Joseph Grillo, Kevin Patullo, pay attention, Phillies offense, getting it done. That's hilarious. Ken, props to Sinoha and the Marlins for tossing a scoreless 8th inning and then a hit in the top of the 9th inning for the Fish. But Edmundo's the star of the game, no doubt. Absolutely. Bandman 100, hello. This makes me a lot less angry about last night. Very true. David says, welcome back, Edmundo. Seabrook, all right, Phillies, no more 3-game skids from here on out, right? That's a good point. Evelyn, what's going on, Evelyn? How are you? What a night. What happens when you say, wait. And what has happened to my hot tot? Bader, of course. He needs to go back to the fluorescent gear, I think. It probably needs to start dressing like a pack of Bubblicious once again. What a gift, says R. I don't disagree. David, so between the Phillies clinching the bye and Kyle hitting 2 home runs to tie Ryan Howard, 0 chance Kyle gets a day off this week. Yeah, he might get a day. But, I mean, you're talking about 2 home runs. He could hit that in a game. Buddy Christ, how you been? World Series? Maybe. Look, I'm not going to let a Marlins series at the end of the year dictate my positive vibe. The Phillies could win the World Series. They absolutely could win the World Series. What gives me so much fear is the unfortunate fact that all of a sudden this Phillies team could just stop hitting. And they got every one of their runs tonight on a home run, if I'm not mistaken. So that's interesting. Not like one little dribbler, not one ground ball with eyes or anything like that. All by way of the long ball, babe. So, yep, every single one of them on a home run. The only run scored not on a home run was the Wagaman single. And that was for the Marlins. That was the first run of the game. After that, all long balls all the time. A groin injury will give any man pent-up aggression. That's hilarious. Thank you, Seabrook. Ari Stein, per Chat GPT, it was a shortstop in 1883, but earlier it was called short fielder. There we go. Also, the St. Louis team won the pennant in 1883. There you go. They weren't the Browns then, were they? The St. Louis Browns? I think they eventually became the Orioles. Maybe it's a different St. Louis team. I don't know. Bandman really wanted, Bohm really wanted to make up for that bad throw today. Yeah, it wasn't great. Joel Alvarez, earlier in the game, I was hoping they could just get some runs. But best for a franchise record, take it or leave it. I'll take it. Peter Choi, hello. Love the show, Farzy. What's going on? No, that's more like it. Home runs galore, Schwarbombs galore. Thank you, Peter. Much appreciated. Oh, Seabrook, yeah. 8 home runs, no Harper, no Turner. That is pretty bonkers. Will Willis, I fell asleep, then woke up, and boom, pow, bang, blam. Was this Batman? I thought it was in the middle of a dream. Thank you, Dan. 36 hours. I know, right? That ball had a family. That's hilarious. Minecraft boy, hello. I have too much fear for this Phillies team. No Wheeler, bats going ice cold, relying on Kerkering, Robertson, Strom. Yeah, I understand your fears. My fears still lie in all of a sudden they just don't hit. That's where my fears lie. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. I will be back with you guys tomorrow as the Phillies wrap up this 3-game series with the Miami Marlins in South Philadelphia. That start time 40 minutes earlier. It's a 6:05 start time in South Philadelphia. That one has Jansen Junk going against Walker Buehler. Junk 6-3 on the season with a 4.27 ERA. Buehler 9-7 with a 5.13 ERA. I don't think I mentioned it last night on the show, but I'll mention it right now. ABS system, automatic balls and strikes, sign me up. Love it. Loved it in the All-Star game. Loved it in spring training. And if umpires have any problem with that, well, then maybe you should be right more than half the time, because that doesn't cut it. And what I mean by that is half the time, more than half the time that batters challenged a call, they were right. So, yes, you absolutely need this in baseball. I'm thrilled it's coming to baseball next year. And there's enough human error in the game that I could live with a little less. I can live with a little less human error. Way to go, baseball. Way to go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. My name is Mark Farzetta. I got you covered for your Locked On Phillies postcast needs. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Daily Phillies podcast needs. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.